What is heart rate?
First off, just remember that your heart is just slightly left of the center of your chest. Now, your heart is like a pump, okay? Uh, it can go speeds, like slow, or medium, or fast, depending on what kind of exercise you are doing. Now, why does your body need a pump? Well, think of it like this, okay? Your heart is like a pump, right? And it's pumping. I want you to think of the blood that it pumps throughout your body like train or a bunch of trains, okay? Your heart is sending it around your body like trains. And those trains have to go to every single part of your body to bring it the good, healthy stuff, okay? And don't forget, your heart is also a muscle. That means the more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. Okay, so now we know where our heart is and what it does. So now we're going to talk about how do we know how fast or slow, or how do we know how hard it's working? Okay, so now I'm going to teach you how to check your own heart rate. Heart rate is how hard your heart is working. How much is it pumping? How much is it sending those trains all the way to parts of your body and back to the heart and bringing it the good stuff, okay? So the first thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at how to check the wrist, okay? While you are exercising, you may be walking or jogging, or you might just be, I don't know, jumping some rope. So what you're going to do is you're going to stop exercising right away, and then you are going to check your wrist. How are you going to check your wrist? Okay, what you want to do is you want to pick a wrist. So let's pretend this is Coach's wrist here. Okay, in my other hand, I'm going to use 2 fingers. Okay, not these 2, not those 2. I want these 2 fingers. You don't want to use your thumb because your thumb actually has its own pulse. Pulse means heartbeat, okay? So your thumb also has a heartbeat in it. You want to use these 2 fingers, put them together, and you want to start feeling underneath your wrist where you're what? Let me just use my own wrist, okay? So I have my 2 fingers. I'm going to turn my hand just like this. I'm going to put my fingers right where I wear my watch. I'm going to start feeling around. Oh, there it is. I feel it. I feel the train. Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo. Now, it might be going really, really fast if I just say I was jumping rope or I just went and jogged around the block, and you'll feel it. It's going to be choo-choo, 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 choo-choo. You can also feel it slowing down when you're cooling down. Choo-choo, choo-choo, choo-choo. I start breathing in my nose, out my mouth, and you will feel your heart rate slowing down. Now, there's also one more way you can check your heart rate, okay? Remember, you want to check that pump. Check for those trains. So, use the same 2 fingers. Remember, we don't use our thumb because our thumb has its own pulse, which is its own heartbeat, and it can mess things up. Okay, so same 2 fingers. And what you're going to do is, I drew a little self-portrait for you guys. I got some time on my hands. Okay. So, that's a really bad picture. Anyways, so 2 fingers. Okay, you're going to go, see where Coach has his line in his beard? Right underneath the neck, and you're going to start feeling around, okay? Not middle, but not ear. You can start at the ear and start feeling around. Oh, there it is. Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo. Okay, so let's wrap this lesson up, okay? So, remember, your heart is like a pump, okay? Now, it pumps the blood throughout your body. I like to think of the blood are like trains, okay? So going almost every spot in your body, and your heart is pushing them and sending them that way, okay? Now, your heart rate is like the speed to see how hard your heart is working, okay? Now, we learned 2 places to check for your heart rate. We learn the wrist. Remember the wrist underneath the watch. And we learn the neck between your ear and your chin. Okay? And we learn that 2 fingers. You should never use the thumb because the thumb has a heart rate. Okay? Now, I want you to go exercise. Pick some exercises. Use this for the rest of the lessons that we learn here in PE online. And I want you to check your heart rate at different types of exercises. You'll notice the speeds are different. Okay? And you'll find 2 different ways to do it. Okay, for my 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, I actually have some a challenge for you. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about is we already learned about the wrist, and we learned about the wrist and the neck, right? Well, we want to learn the actual scientific medical terms for these. First, the wrist is known as the radial. So if you check your radial pulse, that is going to be your wrist. Okay? And the neck is called the carotid. So if you ever hear the carotid artery or how to check your carotid pulse, and my dog just walked by the screen, that is your neck. Okay? Come here. Want to say hi? Hi, this is Emma. Okay, so here's the challenge. Just like a car has speed, right? Now, how do we know how fast a car is moving? Well, a car has what's called mph. That is miles per hour. Okay? Miles per hour. Well, our hearts work in speeds called BPM, beats per minute. Okay? Can you guys see that? All right. That's just something they came up with, just like cars with miles per hour. Okay? That's how we tell. Now, I'm going to show you a quick and easy way, a little bit of math, to determine your beats per minute at any type of exercise. You can do this when you wake up. You can do this when you're running, jogging, or anything you're doing right now, especially to stay active while we're at home, okay? Okay, so here's how it works. You're going to need a partner, okay? You can use your mom, your dad, your brother or sister, somebody that you're probably at home with, as we are, most of you guys are all staying at home throughout the day right now, okay? So here's my partner, okay? Now, you need to pick. One person's going to be the counter. Coach is going to be the counter. Counter, you need a clock, okay? Or a stopwatch, okay? I am the counter, okay? The other person is going to be the exerciser, or in this case, the midday napper. Okay, so I'm the counter. He's going to be, let's call him the exerciser. We're going to check his beats per minute. Now, how do we do that? So look, I drew a little chart, okay? So I'm the counter, okay? It says I am going to count 10 seconds using a clock. And after 10 seconds, I'm going to tell him to stop. Okay? The exerciser. The exerciser, they're going to count their own pulse or their heartbeat, the beats. Okay? So when I say ready, go, he's going to start counting in his head. Okay? He's not going to worry about me. When I tell him to stop, he's going to let me know how many beats he got. Okay, and then we're going to write this number down and do a little bit of math. Okay, here we go. I'm the counter. He's the exerciser. Okay, he's going to pick. By the way, this is Dennis. He's going to be in quite a few of my videos this next 6-7 weeks here. Fun times. Okay, so I want you to pick. He should know this. I've taught him this before. A radial or a carotid. Okay.
I'll pick this one.
Okay, so no.
Or the carotid.
There you go. Okay. So remember, neck is carotid. Radial always sounds like wrist. Radial, wrist. That's an easy one to remember. So he's going to pick the carotid. Okay? So, go ahead. He's got his 2 fingers. Okay? I'm the counter. I'm going to say on your mark, get set, go. He's counting. Stop. Keep that number in your head and don't forget it. Okay? Exerciser, keep that number. I stopped at 10 seconds. Here we go, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here's how you use a partner and do the math, okay? So look, we have the exerciser. Okay, he has a number in his head. What was that number?
12.
12, perfect, okay? So, I'm going to erase that, and then I'm going to put 12. So, we have 12 and 12, okay? So now we have the exerciser. He counted 12. So now this is what you do. You use that number, which was 12 from here. 12 times 6 equals your beats per minute. Why do we use 6? Why do we use 6? Well, if I did a 10-second count, okay, that means there's 60 seconds in a minute. So 6 times 10 equals 60. That's why we use this number 6. This number doesn't change for beats per minute. Okay, so I got his number 12 times 6 equals his beats per minute. What is 12 times 6?
72.
All right, I'm glad you got that right. Okay, so that means Dennis, his beats per minute equals 72. Okay, so that's his beats per minute. Now, we know he's taking his usual midday nap about this time, so he just woke up. Would your beats per minute be higher or lower if I said, go do 2 laps around the block?
It would be higher.
It would be higher. It would be much higher, okay? So that's how you use a partner, and you calculate your beats per minute, okay? Now, when you get this number, you're probably wondering, well, what does it mean? Well, I'm going to put up a chart on the continuing learning plan on my website, okay? And it's going to have a chart, and it's going to say for your age or beats per minute, and you're going to put your number up there, and it's going to show you how hard were you exercising. So if you're running really fast, you're going to be doing pretty high cardiovascular exercise, so your beats per minute will be fast, okay? So I want you, though, to most importantly use your beats per minute throughout PE for the rest of the year at any exercise you do. You could wake up and do your beats per minute, and then after we do the first lesson that's online, after you do that American Heart Association lesson, check your beats per minute, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot faster. Okay? I hope everybody has a good week, good first week online back here at Sandia Base Elementary. I'm going to finish with a little bit of close-up of that cool model that the American Heart Association gave us and that we watched and saw earlier this year. You guys, take care.